Hey y'all, it's Dom. Welcome to Let's Talk About Our Dreams podcast. This episode is going to be about be the girl who decided to go for it. I'm the girl. So on September 11th, 2022, it was a very important day for me. So it was not only important for me, but it was very significant. So why it was so significant to me was because that was the day I decided it's time for change. I wasn't gonna get married. I wasn't going to be in a relationship. I wasn't going to have a kid. It was more of, it's time for change for yourself. This year is you and only you. So I decided to move out of state. I moved from Massachusetts to Virginia, like I had stated in my last episode. I truly wouldn't do it for anything else. I've been having so much fun since I lived here. I've opened so many doors, so many job opportunities, so many friendships, I can go on, but I really just want to talk about the opportunities that if you have it, take it. Don't take things for granted. Life is too short. That's my favorite saying, as I tell all my friends, I'm like, life is too short. Let's do this. Let's do that. And honestly, they laugh about it, but it's so true. We could be here today and gone tomorrow. So if you have something that you want to do in life, go for it. Start planning it and go for it. If you want to take a trip, plan a trip and go for it. If you haven't seen a favorite friend or a close family member, make sure that you take time to text them, call them. It takes 2 minutes. And honestly, I laugh about this now because me and my brother, I never hear from this kid. I shouldn't say kid, he's a grown man, but I never hear from him. And it wasn't even since I moved from Massachusetts, it's been a thing, in our family. He just does not answer the phone. He's constantly at work and grind is grind. But it's time for us to take a step back and realize life is too short and to connect with those around you, connect with those that you love. Sorry, I get a little sidetracked, but back to being the girl who decided to go for it. So since I moved out here, when I first moved out here, I should say, I started at a center base. So as most of you guys know, I work in the special education field. I've been in the special education field for almost 3 years, and I wouldn't change it for anything else. The students are my everything. My staff that I work with are phenomenal. And I just truly love the atmosphere, and I just love working with these kids. These kids are my everything, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So as I lived in Massachusetts, I was a BT, so a behavioral therapist, if you guys don't know. Once I moved out here, I was working with a company, and they had asked me to take an RBT test, which is Registered Behavioral Therapist. And I said, okay, sure, I'll take it. But I didn't really think to take it because I was I'm already in school. I'm already on that journey to become a BCBA, which is a board certified behavior analyst for those that are not in the special education field. And I decided, I'm going to take it. So I ended up taking the test and I passed. Yay! And after that, I realized, okay, this is really my career. It's time to lock it down and, bloom from this. So I was halfway through with my master's already. I had taken the exam, like I said, and I had passed. And then it was just a very chaotic time at that company. I was new to the state. I was new to the company. The company was new. And it was just a lot of, transitions and stuff. So I just didn't think it was the right placement for me. So being the girl who decided to go for it, I was on Indeed. I was looking around. I was calling. I was sending my resume everywhere. And one day I prayed and I just sat in my car and I said, you know what? One of these companies are going to call me and this is going to be my career. There's going to be nothing about it. There's going to be no questions and this is going to be my career. And so one day, as I said, I'm driving to work and I get a phone call. And once I get that phone call, I drive into Dunkin' Donuts because, me, always hungry. So I drove into Dunkin' Donuts and I had my interview there in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. And I'll never forget that day. when every time I go to that Dunkin' Donuts, I always think of my interview. And I just pray, and I'm just so thankful for that day, that day had came in my life, basically. So, I had the interview with these 3 ladies, and it's funny because I also applied to that school system before I moved to Virginia, before I had gotten, the job at this company where they wanted me to take the RBT test. And so they reached out and they were like, oh my God, Dominique, like, I'm so happy that you reached back out to me. And, we really want to hire you. We have this new position open and it's called resident teacher. So I'm thinking, okay. So being the girl who decided to go for it, I said, you know what? Let's go. Let's do it. So they were like, okay, you're hired. We're so excited. They were just so excited on the interview. So it took maybe 2 weeks and it was my first day. So I went in and everybody was so sweet, welcoming. The principal welcomed me right into her office and she was just like, Dominique, we are so excited to have you. And honestly, I've been through a lot of jobs. If you know me, I love working. Grinding is what I love to do. But of course, I love to take time and hang out with my friends, my family, and my loved ones, of course. But going back to that, this place really made it feel like home. And that's what really made me realize that this is my home. This is my career and this is my home. And so, like I said, I started in November and it's now going to be March, which is ridiculous. Time is flying. I feel like I've adjusted. I've made a lot of friendships with my coworkers. And it's not just coworkers. These are friendships that I would have lasting outside of work. And I just honestly, I think this was the best move for me, being a teacher here. And like I said, I never seen myself as a teacher. When I was younger, I would always have notebooks out and, pretend I was a teacher. And it was so funny because my mom would come in and she'd be like, Dom, what are you doing? And I'm like, hold on, quiet. I have my students right there. And she would look at me like I had 10 heads. But I was like, no, Mom, my students are taking a test and we would crack up. So now that I'm 25 and I was doing that when I was probably maybe 8, it's hilarious to me now. But it's just so funny how things can really click and things can just really glow for you. Like I said, I came to Virginia as a behavioral therapist and now I'm a registered behavioral therapist and I am also a preschool autism teacher. And I just finished my master's in psychology and ABA and I'm finishing my supervision hours. And once I'm done with that, I can sit for the BCBA exam. So now I will have 3 certifications within the last 7 months. And I think that's wonderful. For someone that did not expect that pathway, I think that's the best thing that could ever happen. So I just want to reach out to everyone out there and just let them know, if you have something, a dream that you've always desired to complete, to start, this is the year to do it. Like I said in my last episode, it's all about walking in purpose. And this is the year for you to walk in purpose and do what's best for you. But yeah, so on my next episode, I will talk a little bit more about who's your support group. Because I honestly don't think I would be able to get through all of this that I've gotten through if I didn't have the support group. My mom's been the most supportive person in my whole entire life. My siblings, my aunts, my uncles, the friendships I've made out here, friendships back in Boston. Don't forget, I didn't forget about you, gang. But yeah, honestly, it's just been, I really have no words. I've been very speechless. Oh wait, I forgot. So for those that know me, I love hookah, right? So one day, me and my friend, we went to a hookah lounge, and it's a Sunday night. Why am I outside on a Sunday night? I got to make sure, I just explained to you, I need to make sure that I am with these kids because I have 9 kids right now in my classroom, and it's a lot, but I love it. And I was out on a Sunday night, just hanging out. And, me and my friend, Naj, which you guys will meet her. She'll be on the next episode. But we just had so much fun. We were dancing. We were singing. we were just having a vibe with the other people that were there. And that's what I live for. I love social time. I love just, even if you just come over, hang out, we'll have a, glass of wine, and just like hang out. Those are the times that I really live for. And I think that people need to do more of that because, like I said, we get so busy and so caught up in our life and our, work life and stuff, and maybe relationship. And like, we just forget that, like, you don't know who's really truly there for you. When things happen, that's when you know. And I think overall, people should know who's there for each other, no matter what the situation is. And so I'm sorry, like I said, I get off track. But going back to, so that night that we were at the hookah lounge, we were joking around. We were like, oh, like, should we ask if they're hiring? Because, like, me and my girl Naj, we love to work. Like I said, grinding is everything. But also we love to have a social aspect. So we thought maybe, we could get a job at the hookah lounge, and then we could have kind of like a, social life too there. So, knowing me, I was like, hey, are you guys hiring? Couldn't hurt to ask. So he was like, actually, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, like, we want to, we want to apply. How do we apply? So he, sat us down. He was talking to us, told us the whole application process, blah, 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 blah. So moving forward, the next day, we have like a quick interview. I didn't think you really needed an interview for a lounge, but it happened. And so, we had an interview, and he was like, you guys are hired. So me and her started busting out laughing because I was like, we came in here. First of all, we weren't even supposed to go out. It's Sunday. I should be in bed. But we ended up going out, and it was the best time. And look I got a job. So, like, being the girl who decided to go for it, I mean, it's just the best feeling. And, like, once you go for it, it's amazing. It's like I did something. So going back to being the girl who decided to go for it, it's funny because now I'm a hookahhologist, fancy word, but I'm a hookahhologist who, works at a hookah lounge and passes out hookah and packs the hookah, and, those hookah fans out there, it's a lot. But, it's so much fun. Like, I honestly enjoy it so much. Like, I've met so many fun people over there, and it's just, like, really, like, a social aspect. So, just being the girl who decided to go for it, I mean, come on now. Like, it's not gonna hurt you. Just go for it. I mean, I'm over here holding up signs, birthday signs, like, happy birthday, and, like, all of this stuff. And I just never seen myself to be a bottle girl. I never seen myself to be, a hookahhologist, as they call it. And it's just funny. So, like, I think that, I'm really saying all of these things to encourage you, to motivate you, to just have fun. Life is all about having fun. And, like, truly, I made this podcast because I want everyone just to live life. I mean, life is too short. Again, my favorite saying, but honestly, just live life. So, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll catch you on the next episode of Who's Our Support Group, or Who's Your Support Group. Have things in mind. You never know who's going to be my next guest speaker. And I'm so excited that I was able to get this episode out. I'm sorry that it took a couple of weeks, but things have been hectic on my end. I'm here to stay, and I'll catch you on our next episode. See you later.